Welcome to the Best of White Rock, where we sit down with the standout business owners, community leaders, and entrepreneurs shaping life here in White Rock and South Surrey for the better. These are their stories behind the people driving real change in our community. Hosted by me, Darren German of the German Group.
Carolina, we have one of the co-founders of Limon here, one of South Surrey's staple restaurants that I myself and my family frequent quite often.
Thank you.
So excited to have you on the Best of White Rock to tell your story. I know when we were getting ready for this interview or this conversation, you told me some just incredible background about how this whole behemoth of this White Rock institution came to be. But before we get into all of that, please let everybody know who you are and what you do and what you got going on over there.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Carolina, and I'm one of the co-founders at Limon. We have been in the business for over 12 years when the brand started, but we are pretty excited to be part of the White Rock community.
That's awesome. And so how long have you been in the White Rock community for now?
It's been over a decade.
And you've been doing this business since it was around 2012, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we started in Kingsway.
Well, so the story behind the restaurant is such a neat one, and I'd love you to share it because it was born out of a necessity that you identified with you and your own family.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. I was on mat leave, and I met somebody that is now my partner, but it was a great friend, and we were just talking about food and kids and hang out all the time, and we didn't have a lot of spots to actually take the kids so they could have a little break and play and eat great food. So when we started talking, we talked about how I was Mexican, how her husband had some passion for food and cooking, how we had all this background. And then we started just creating this idea and wanted to create potentially a spot that could share a little bit of my background of the Mexican background and food, and that we could have a space where we can take the kids and the kids could eat good food, but at the same time play, and we could have a little bit of a break. And that's, it was very important for us to have a space that could have like a play area for kids.
Yeah. So this was born out of creating a space that you wanted to have families come to, and you noticed this because you felt that there was really no great option for, other than the fast foody type places around. You really wanted to create a restaurant where people could feel good about bringing their family in, and also if they got young kids, there was something for them to do.
Exactly. And I think for me, because my family owned Mexican restaurants and I worked at those restaurants since I was 15, it was sharing a little bit of who I was, but at the same time building that space where kids could come, parents could come, families could have that space, especially moms that were on mat leave, they could have a place to take the kids and just eat and have lunch and enjoy a little.
Why was that important to you? What about it was about creating a space where families could come and have the type of food that you serve?
Well, I had two kids, and I didn't have a place to take them. And, when I was on mat leave, I was taking care of my two kids. Sometimes just doing the things, being at home, and not having a lot of areas where we could eat and also reset at the same time. I thought they didn't exist. So
for people that are watching and they're unfamiliar with your restaurant, maybe where do you come and what kind of background do you bring to this restaurant?
Well, I'm Mexican. I come from Manzanillo, which is on the Pacific coast of Mexico. The nearest place is Guadalajara, for people who doesn't know. And growing up, my mom had a restaurant. My older sister had a restaurant. So
That's in the blood.
I grew with the food, yes. I had 7 sisters, 1 brother, so cooking was a big part of my culture and my everyday. So when I was here and I met my other partners and Pepe had this passion for cooking, it just came together that maybe what we could create was around food and space for kids. So it was just very organic and natural.
Yeah. Is there recipes from Mom's old restaurant that have made its way over?
Yes, actually, when we were making the first menu, I cooked with Pepe. We cooked together. We brought recipes from my sister, from my mom, salsas that I grew up eating all the time, and that was kind of like the foundation of the recipes that we still have today.
So everybody brought their own little slice of their experience and background, and mom's cooking even. And does mom ever end up in the kitchen? Is mom still with us?
Actually, Mama stays with us. She sent me audios with the recipes. You know, I tried some of them when I was in Mexico, and even my dad came here and helped us make some salsas and stuff like that. So yeah, it is family love there.
Oh, so we're getting like the most authentic Mexican experience when we come visit.
We do our best, yes.
That's great. Well, you've created such a beautiful space in South Surrey. And for those that are unfamiliar, it's kind of at the corner of 160th and in the kind of Morgan Crossing area.
Yes,
anyways.
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful restaurant you've created. And I know you've been working at really building it out because you're trying to continue to cater to more people and make the experience better. So you've got this really great space that you've created for kids, and what else are you working on right now in there?
So right now we're working on adding some screens so that we are game ready, and if people wants to watch sports at the same time they bring their kids, you know, it's a great opportunity for them to do both.
So when people are making a decision to go somewhere to eat in South Surrey and they're thinking, I want some good authentic Mexican cuisine, what really makes Sally Limon stand out?
Well, I would say what it was very important for us is that you can have delicious food that is unpretentious and that you can eat every day.
What do you mean by unpretentious?
Well, we have been recognized for having an atmosphere that is friendly, casual. We have not very elaborated dishes like more traditional dishes in Mexico. We will have like more of the street fare. Tacos, tortas, burritos, quesadillas, things that you can eat every day on the go as well, rather than very elaborated dishes that is going to be higher price point perhaps, and also the elaboration and the time to even serve takes longer. So our food is very casual, but very authentic and delicious that you can eat every day, even for lunch. Yeah.
What do you hear as an example when people, because there's a million places to eat out there, right? There's so many choices, and we're so blessed in South Surrey. There's so many great choices of people bringing their cultures and heritages and all that. What do you find is the number one thing you hear from people when they come visit?
Well, we cater a lot to people that are gluten-free. Corn tortillas are gluten-free, for example. So for those certain dietary restrictions, this is pretty friendly, as well as a lot of vegetarian options. There's a lot of vegetarian community around us as well. So I think it has a little bit of everything for everyone, and that's what makes us a place to go for everybody.
Yeah, and we had talked a lot too about like how proud you were of what you served, and it not only from your, you got great family recipes being passed down and whatnot, mom over voice notes giving you all the secrets, but also just about the produce and the types of stuff you serve. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of like local companies that provide our produce, but also we made all the things from scratch ourselves, like all the marinades. We made them at the Surrey location actually, and the guacamole we made it every day. So we have like a big team that preps everything so that we try to do as fresh food as possible all the time.
Now, why not cut corners? Like, why is fresh so important to you? And because that's not the experience that everybody gets at every restaurant, right? Like, so many restaurants are just trying to keep margins as low as possible and pump out as much as they can and keep the margins big. Why is having all that fresh food so important to you?
Well, we're trying to keep it as authentic as possible, right? And even ready for the recipes to keep them as true to my roots. There's some ingredients that we don't find fresh, to be honest. So we will need to use some canned stuff in some cases. But for all the things that we can do as close to earth as possible, that's the choice that we decide to make.
Does some stuff come from Mexico? Like, do you have to bring in some things from Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, we work with importers that has like some of the chilies and the spices and a lot of the products that we use that we don't normally find easily here. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So we're like literally getting everything authentic here right from the get-go. That's great. Yeah. And you mentioned, you said everything's prepared in your Surrey location, your South Surrey location. So there's multiple locations.
Yes, we do have. We have a location in Fraser in Vancouver. We have a location in Commercial Drive, and then we have the newest location in Hastings and close to Boundary.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're turning into this local restaurant magnet here. It's pretty exciting. So we're lucky to have you in South Surrey. So when people come and visit, Granby is a really good example. Why do you think they choose to come see you guys?
Well, what we get as comments is that they always have a smile from our partners. At the restaurant, they can just quickly come. It's a comfortable sitting. It's a lot of space. Especially we have like these big kids play area. So we have a lot of families coming, moms with their kids, that they can just watch the kids play while they are eating some food. So I think it's a combination of the food plus the experience that allows people to feel comfortable enough to come back.
Yeah, and so if I'm coming in to visit, what's the number one seller? Is it like more simple things, or are they getting wild and trying some of the spicy things on the menu, or what's the experience like?
Yeah, you know what is funny? I think what most people come and take a lot of the tacos because what we have is a lot of hot sauces, so you can go as adventurous as you want and add them. But we do have people that have these develop a lot of the taste for spicy food, and they will come and try some of the algara torta, for example, which is like a sandwich that is covered in this super hot sauce.
Oh my gosh.
And you can make it very, very hot. So we do have people that go in adventures to the other way.
Do people seek you out to go on, have this like crazy hot sauce adventure? And
Some people do, yes. Yeah. And especially friends that come together that challenge each other to see who can eat hotter food. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you handle the hot food like that?
I do, but you know what? It's funny is that I like to add a little bit of 2 or 3 different sauces, but I don't like the experience of being super, super hot.
Oh yeah, those people are amazing. They're just sweating when they're eating, and I don't know how they do it. It's incredible. Yeah. Well, that's neat because that's another really neat reason to visit you. I know that you've got a lot of selections of hot sauces and just the variety that you offer there. It really does cater to everyone. You're talking about gluten-free,
yes.
And it's amazing if you've got like a family member maybe that's gluten-free, or maybe a child with allergies, or someone in your family that's vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. There's not a lot of good options in the community, and there's some really great options. There's just not a lot of them, and being able to cater to that crowd really offers a lot because anybody can come visit and anybody can come enjoy your food.
Exactly. And I think I was vegetarian for a year and a half, and I could have 2 or 3 or 4 different kinds of tacos at the restaurant. So it's just to your point, there's an option for if there is a diverse group coming, group of friends with different restrictions, everybody can have something in the menu that is for them.
What was important to you about having a location in South Surrey? Was there something that stood out about the community to you that you thought it would be a really good place for your business?
Yeah, so we were 2 families starting the restaurants, and when we started it, I was living in East Vancouver, so it was very important to have a restaurant where I lived. In my own community, and my other partners live in South Surrey. So we wanted to have a restaurant in the community where they lived as well. So it just really aligned with our values of we really want to be part of that community, and this is an amazing community.
Yeah. I'm curious what differences, if any, do you notice between having one of your restaurants in South Surrey versus maybe, let's say, one of the Vancouver locations? Is it different? Lots of different orders for specific things because of the types of people in the various communities? Is it the way the customers show up? Is there any differences you see between having the South Surrey location and Vancouver locations?
I think there is going to be a different, depends on where you are located. Right. And for instance, if we were in one that it was more like daily commute, a lot of people that work around there, in and out, they will come a lot for lunch, or they will just order a lot of catering for their offices. I believe that in Surrey there is more people with more time, perhaps. Like they come a little bit more slow down to come and eat. It feels a little bit less rush. But in terms of the items, perhaps we see more vegetarian orders in here.
Oh, really?
That perhaps in some other locations.
Yeah.
But don't call me on that.
Yeah, we'll have to check the books to see what the actual orders are, right? Well, it's interesting you say that. Like a lot of people, my day job is selling residential real estate, and I notice a lot of people come out here because of the lifestyle. So they want things to move a little bit slower. They don't want to live that big city life. In fact, growing up in this community and seeing all the friends move into downtown Vancouver, but they're all coming back because White Rock and South Surrey, that's, they realized especially when you get older, we grew up in this incredible community. We were so lucky, and maybe you took it for granted when you moved out, but you realize that when you become an adult, and that moving slower and that pace of life, and even just the community. Like when you have patrons come into the restaurant, do you find it's a lot of repeat people coming in that just love the Mexican heritage that's being brought from your family, or what's your type of clientele that comes in?
Yeah, we do have, I think, to your point, yes, there is a pace that slows down a little bit more in here. Yeah. And based on that, we will have the different people coming over. So I will say in South Surrey, we see more families with young kids coming, especially during lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then in other locations, we probably are going to see people picking up for food for their families right after work, for instance. So in terms of the clientele, we will have in some locations people that work very nearby that will come even 2 times a week for lunch. While in here, perhaps it's families that will come from time to time or maybe weekly with their kids.
Well, it's such a great location because the density in and around your restaurant, there's condominiums and lots of townhomes and whatnot. So lots of young families. Those are the perfect places for young families. So that even the foot traffic, and because Grandview can be a busy area, finding parking can be a challenging Grandview. So the fact that you can walk very easily to your place and go get a nice, healthy, nutritious lunch that tastes a lot better than some of the other options that might be out there. It's pretty awesome that people have that opportunity to do that. I was curious, from the business owner standpoint, what do you find is one of the tougher things about running a restaurant in South Surrey?
I would say that it's not necessarily just a South Surrey related. I think a tough thing when running a restaurant in this economy is trying to keep up with raising cost of food and trying to be keeping prices fair for your clients while the margins are becoming very tight. There is just like any other business, potentially that is like the biggest challenge that many of us is facing. I would say.
Oh, I know when we were talking in preparation for this, it was really important you to be able to offer a great product to people and also use the word fair, right? People come in and they feel like they're getting good value for their money, and they've got this great experience and a great environment that you've created, and they're also getting something that they love. That was really important to you, which is nice that you're able to do that, because stuff is expensive now. It's you go out for a sandwich and everybody wants $20, right? Like it's incredible that, and food cost is a big piece of that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with like keeping a lot of fresh produce and whatnot. Like people maybe don't know this, but like being from a restaurant industry, stuff expires, right? Like, you order something thinking of the amount of people that are coming in are going to be able to enjoy it. But if they don't all show up, sort of thing, then something has to happen with that food, right? So it's, I feel that there's a lot of the restaurant owners that we've had on this show, that's one of their biggest challenges, is still remaining competitive in the marketplace and offering a great product, but keeping prices fair.
Exactly.
Right. People want to be able to come and enjoy it and not feel like they're paying for a Michelin star restaurant every time they show up. So I was curious about this for you, Carolina. When you show up at work every day, what is the type of feedback that you hear from the people that visit the restaurant? What do they say?
I think that a lot of people talk about how they feel when they come. They talk about there is friendly people, there is a friendly staff, there's often a smile, and there's good food, right? So And that's very important to us because we wanted to transmit that culture of family in Canada. So when I hear that about the experience that they're having, I think that really resonates with what we want to experience. And in terms of the food, they said you can go and it's consistent. That's probably, I think, one of the biggest things that we
Yeah. And if there was a misconception that people had about maybe the style of food you serve or the restaurant, what's the one thing you'd want everybody to know just about when they come visit? You know, they can expect that smile when they come in the door and the family feeling and the incredible food. What would you pick?
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting question because I think some people might say, well, this is not authentic when they're expecting the other kind of like Mexican food that we have, very elaborate
Kind of like
dishes.
Canadian Mexican foods, are you talking about? Or?
No, I'm more talking about, well, in Mexican food, we're going to have the street fair food, the tacos, tortas, burritos, the food that we can eat every day, the quesadillas, which is what we cater towards. And then we're going to have the moles, the tamales, the pozole, the dishes that also are Mexican, but that is not what we offer. So it can be that they might be expecting to find that, but what they find is the street fair food that we have. So that's the style that we have of food that we have, but it is authentic Mexican food.
Yeah, well, I can tell from being a patron there, it's authentic, so it's delicious. Now, I want to know one thing before we wrap this up, and what's the thing you're most proud of about what you've built at Sal de Limon?
I would say I'm personally proud to bring a little bit of who we are or who I am to Canada. And I'm also proud that we have created something that really aligns with the values that we have as partners. I love that we are supporting the immigrant community. We have about 80 employees and are across all the locations. And we are sometimes the first job in Canada for them. So being part of their story and treating them fairly, that's something that is very important for us. So, I'm just proud of sharing great food with the world.
That's so wonderful. Well, how do people come find you, whether it's in the South Surrey location or otherwise? How do they come visit and come try for themselves?
Yeah, so they can visit us at the location in Surrey, or they can also find us in Limon Surrey Instagram account, or at Limon Van Instagram account for the locations that we have in Vancouver.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're so lucky to have you in South Surrey, and it's really been a pleasure to get to know you and also to get to experience your food. So I want to thank you for being on the Best of White Rock, and we'll make sure all the information so people can find you and come try if they haven't tried and come get some of Mom's home cooking there. They know where to find everybody. So thank you, Carolyn. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.